literary, but not too literary. You should have had your book edited by now. I just ended this chapter like, ugh. No, so I've got a good chunk done. Oh my god, that is a big spider. It's already weak. I'm so proud of it. Hey guys, and welcome back to Reasons Bookmark. Here on this channel, I'll make all types of writing and bookish content, and today's video is a line editing vlog. I haven't done a writing vlog in a while, and the more I work on Seaside, the closer to being done it is. I'm actually recording this clip after the footage has been filmed, so you will see me again. We have a lot of time lapses for you, a lot of thinking, ups and downs, like how the first half of line editing went for me. I got through quite a big chunk of my manuscript in this video, so I hope you enjoy it. I should probably also explain Seaside in case you're new here. So Seaside is a young adult romance featuring LGBT+ characters and romantic interests. The story is set on a small island in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and it is about grief and self-acceptance and finding your own way through the world. I'm greatly inspired by Adam Silvera. It's just a cute story about two sad boys falling in love and then figuring out how the heck they deal with this love. I've been working on it since August of 2020, so quite a long time now, before even I started this AuthorTube channel. And without further ado, here's part 1 of line editing Seaside. Hey guys, and welcome to this line editing vlog. We begin this video by printing my manuscript, aka being a printer hog for the next 20 minutes. Seaside is a YA romance I've been writing since August of 2020, and watching my project develop to this stage has been really exciting. What I'm printing out here is the 5th draft in default Scrivener formatting. That means no page breaks and no fancy indents, just the content. I was hesitant at first to print it out this way because honestly it looks kinda ugly. But I found that it was actually really helpful to take the pressure off and not format it like a formal manuscript. The first thing I did after I printed it out was make a cover page, and a good thing I did because I had some clips where I definitely did reveal what was going on in the first scene. This clip here is actually not the first time I opened my manuscript and started to edit, as you can see from all the red writing. It's actually the next day, or day 2. I've actually been able to work on my project between assignments at work, and I'm really grateful for this, otherwise this would have taken me even longer to complete. Here I'm showing you the reminder I wrote myself to look out for when I'm line editing, and the 4 things I'm focusing on are passive voice, awkward phrasing, tone, and extra words. The day before this, I also took some time to reflect on the line editing process, so I will let past me read that out to you. Day 1. All this revision is making me feel self-conscious about my work. I thought it was good earlier, but there's so much I want to change. How will I ever know if something is agent ready? I like the changes I'm suggesting. I think it's making it better. I'm just worried I won't be able to polish it enough for an agent's eyes. Coming to you live from 12:53 a.m. last night. I don't know if I'm in frame right now. Maybe I'll tilt the camera up a little, but I've been line editing, copy editing Seaside since last night. I did 1 chapter last night, and it probably took over an hour. There's so much work that goes into line edits that I wasn't anticipating. I woke up this morning, I took a shower, and I said, hey, before I go to work today, I'm going to try to get 1 more chapter done. Chapter 2 is up to page 10, and the first chapter is up to page 5. I chose ugly formatting to save paper. I could have printed it in manuscript format, but that was over 300 pages. I think it was actually 370 pages. Like, that's how many it would be if it was in a print book, which is cool. It's pretty neat. But yeah, this document is only 259 because I chose some default Scrivener printing. It's actually, I think it's better because it takes less pressure off it. It makes it into a new format for me to examine. So yeah, I'm just gonna do some more line editing. I probably won't get through the whole chapter before I leave for work. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna edit a little and I'll talk to you later. On Friday, December 2nd, I was up to page 21. Hi everyone, sorry if the lighting is weird, I'm trying something out. I wanted to wait to update you all until I felt like I had something to say about the line editing and the copy editing process. It is also raining-ish and just kind of like got my washing machine on in the background, so if you hear other noises, that's what that's about. So at the same time as I've been doing this copy editing and line editing, I've also been looking up agents and doing a bunch of what I call as query research, which is basically going through every single young adult agent I could find on Query Tracker and, you know, checking their website, checking their education, checking like what they're interested in, looking at their reports on Query Tracker. Like, it's a whole method and a process, and it takes a long time. Today's December 3rd, and I've been doing this research for about a week now, and I've identified, I think, 67 agents so far, and I'm about a third of the way through all of the agents. I think there's about 600 of them or so. So I've also been doing query research while I've been line and copy editing. I'm currently on page 45, which is almost a fifth of the way through. So I'm just about to start chapter 10, and there are 50 whole chapters. That is how that works out. There's this weird kind of imposter syndrome that kicks in when you are both working on your book, analyzing it, nitpicking it, pulling it apart, and also doing research on agents to query, and you see their manuscript wish list. I've looked at probably like hundreds of them by now, and you know, other little hints about what agents are looking for, what categories they represent, and you know, you would read these descriptions and it's like, I'm looking for books that will change the way I am after I finish it, or I'm looking for books that deal with hard topics in new ways, or I'm looking for like the next best contemporary YA that's also a little literary but not too literary. And I'm like, I guess it's just doubt. Like, is my book fit enough for a manuscript wish list? Like, does my book deal with hard topics in a new way well enough for someone to want that? It's hard. Like, I like my book. I know it's an achievement, it's an accomplishment, but I'm also like, but will an agent think it's good? Does my book have the right structure, the right tone that is apt to the traditional market? Like, I don't know. I guess my instinct is no, because you know, it's natural to doubt yourself and the work you've done. And yeah, it's just a difficult thing I have to get through, and I hope that, I don't know, maybe after I finish designing copy edits, I won't keep doubting my work. Like, I was really into it before I started line and copy editing, and now when I've really just bled all over these pages with red marker, just, if this book needed this much improvement, how am I a good writer? Like, isn't that weird? It's so messed up that I think that. Yeah, that is how I'm feeling right now. I'm planning to get through probably like chapter 10 today. I started chapter 8, and so if I get through chapter 10, I'll have 40 more chapters left. I've now marked my book into fifths, so I know where each section is, like what's 1/5 of the way through, and I am almost to the first marker. I'll get to that first marker today, which is at the end of chapter 10. That is it for this update. I'll check back in when I have something else to say. So hey guys, it is currently December 6th, and no, just kidding, it's December 7th, and this might be a little too soon to call it, but I definitely feel less bad about my book now that I've got more of the way through it. So I wrote myself a little note yesterday about how I was feeling. My last major milestone was 2/5 of the way through the draft, and that's a great. Oh, I'm actually on page 100, so that's cool. So I'm on page 100 out of 259, and that's, you know, it's great progress. I just wanted to give you a little update that maybe it's too soon to say this, but I feel less bad about my book now that I'm this far into line editing. It's not like I was feeling like awful about it earlier, it's just that I was less confident in it because of how much work the book needed, but at this point I feel like, okay, I've seen how much work needs to be done and it feels like I can do it. Like I'm getting more of a handle on what the heck I need to do, which is good. So I'm gonna read you my short little note, and it was 1 week-ish of line editing. Those negative feelings have gone away somewhat now that I'm a good chunk of the way through. I've also slowed down my query research, which I think is contributing. This far in the project feels more manageable. I know what I'm doing, and I'm making my book better. That's where I'm at. I have been slowing down my pace of my editing. Like, I know I'm not doing the 25 pages I was like on Monday and Tuesday, but that's fine. I think I'll definitely be able to finish by December 22nd at this point, especially now that I only have 150 pages left. I'll definitely get more done after my final projects are turned in. I have one paper due on Friday, which is in 2 days, and a final exam tomorrow at 4 p.m. that I need to study for. But then after that, I'm done. Ooh, and I'm planning on having a live stream on Friday. That'll be good. My next clip here is going to be a time lapse, so enjoy. You know, something no one tells you about line editing is that it's a bunch of second guessing your work. You're just reading the same lines over and over again, and you're like, is this how I want to say this? Is this the most effective way I can say this? Do I need this word? Do I need this part? Can I cut out this whole paragraph? Yes, you can find joy in the process, but what you are doing is you are criticizing your book. And that is why it is so hard to stick with it, to stay with it, to convince yourself that what you are doing is worth it, that your book still has value, that you need to edit this even though there's a lot to edit. It's so hard to have the discipline to keep going when what you're doing is negative. But yet the editing must be done, and so we press on. As you'll notice from this clip, I am somewhere in between the 2/5 and the 3/5 mark in my book. On this day I went to a coffee shop with my partner, and it was really nice for us to both get some work done at the same time. I had a chocolate coffee, and it delivered on both the chocolate and the coffee. I think it was just espresso with chocolate steamed milk. And later that week, I did host a live stream. It was very nice, very productive. During the live stream, I did also hit the 3/5 milestone, which is at page 150. Lots of progress. Hey guys, it is December 10th, and I'm in the middle of hosting a live stream. We're in the middle of our third sprint, and yeah, I've been doing a really good job of keeping up with line editing. I'm now 3/5 of the way through. I hit my third peak tab in the book, which means I'm 150 pages and 30 chapters deep into line editing, and it's going great. It's going well. Lots of thoughts in my head. I'm sure I'll have a wrap-up clip later, but it's good. It's great. Yeah, that's it. Talk later. Well, that was pretty great. I am honestly really impressed with the pace I've been able to keep up with. I definitely thought from those first few times I was going into the manuscript that it was going to take me a really long time to line edit. But you know, some pages need less editing than others, and I think I understand why I edited the first few pages much more than some like middle parts of the manuscript, just because I need the most attention on the first little part of the book. At the time that I'm recording this clip, it is December 13th, so a little bit past when that last footage was, but I'm currently on page 166, and that is down to chapter 34, so I'm just starting chapter 34 in the second part of this vlog that will be coming up soon. But yeah, I'm like a shocking way through the book, and I'm really happy about that. The second half of this vlog will be me getting through the last 90 pages or so. Wild. And that will also include me typing all these edits into a new Scrivener document because it's not real until I type it up. I kind of want to talk about that little time of me feeling bad about my manuscript, especially in the very first section of the book. And I touched on this a little bit before, but I was doing query research at the same time I was line editing my book. And I was doing this mainly because I had started doing query research while I was waiting to print my book. So I was bored and like I needed something to do that felt like progress, even though I couldn't physically line edit my book yet. I kept doing it out of habit while I was doing my line editing, and I realized that was really harmful for me in terms of progress. So I've halted my query research for now. I'm sure it will pick back up again after I've finish this, but at the rate I'm going, that won't take very long now. So if I have any advice for writers who are in the line editing stage, it's don't look up agents while you're editing. I do find the line editing process really satisfying, especially when I get to cross out entire sections, entire paragraphs. Don't need you! Like getting rid of these words is going to give me the freedom to expand where I need to. I'm kind of also afraid of big numbers attached to drafts. Like anything past draft 4 really feels like, come on, you should have had your book edited by now. A book will take as many drafts as it needs. I just need to get over it that I am writing a draft 6. Maybe future books will take less drafts. One gripe I have with my book right now is that I'm going to need to add another chapter before the midpoint. This bothers me because, if you weren't aware, the midpoint in my book has always not fallen at exactly the 50% mark of the book, which feels wrong to me. I want it to be perfectly in the middle, so it would be chapter 25, but right now it's chapter 29, and me adding another chapter before chapter 29 is going to push the midpoint further, and that irks me because it makes the two halves of my book not even. But there's nothing I can do about it because we need more pining. The chapters 22 to 25 are very quick, a little bit too much of a montage, and I need there to be some more emotional reactions and yearning, because that's what we all need. I definitely wouldn't call this book a slow burn. I call it like a half burn. Aside from that change to the manuscript, so far what I'm doing is fleshing out some characters that were kind of like blank slates, especially Julian's family members. I realized I have a problem with making all parental figures gentle and kind and like just gently guiding, and no, we're not having any of that. Julian is not going to have 3 parental figures that are all like that. One of them's got to be gotta cause some drama. His dad, his mom, and Isa, his aunt, and then he has a sister who's like 24. So he kind of has like 4 parents almost. I'm adhering more to my characters' voices. I'm making sure that they feel voicey and characteristic. I've gotten rid of a lot of justs. I also use the word now a lot. I'm cutting down on figurative language. I noticed that when I have a detail and I make a metaphor out of it, I tend to wax poetic and use like 2 or 3 metaphors when really 1 would do. So cutting down there. I can't speak to what kinds of edits I will do in the second half of the book, but that's pretty much all I've done so far. I'm really proud of my progress, and in the future, what I'm going to do, hopefully, fingers crossed, is I'm going to finish these line edits by December 22nd, and that includes typing them up in a new Scrivener draft. So hopefully that will be in part 2 of this line editing vlog series. And I think maybe when I type this up, I'll also do copy edits at the same time. Whenever I see a grammar mistake, I just like, I fix it. I don't know if I need like a formal copy edits, like I'm doing copy edits, but I'll probably just give it a pass at some point, definitely before I query, because I have to make sure it's good. Printing this book out at this stage was the best thing I could have done to edit my book. It has made me so attuned to all the detail and just like be merciless with the red pen. It's great. I love it. It's wild when you think about my last draft that I printed out, which was, I think it was the first draft. You know what? I have it. I might get it. I have it. Okay. So this book, okay, this is the first draft. Do you guys remember? Comment down below if you've seen this video. And if you haven't, I'll link it in the cards and in the description. But like, this was when I printed my first draft of my book, and it was, I actually think it's thicker because this is proper manuscript format right here. Like, it's got page chapter breaks and everything. And wow, so dramatic. Oh my god. Very good. Good for my writing, good for editing. Would recommend. And after that, I'm going to write a query letter, write a synopsis, continue my courier research, and submit it. I'm going to be using a batch query method, so it won't be so like alarming. Planning to do that as soon as I have those things done. It's going to be January before I even know it, so I'll probably wait till January starts in earnest before actually submitting. But yeah, that's where Seaside is going. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see how that unfolds. I got good vibes for the future. That is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. Keep your eye out for the part 2 of this editing video series. And yeah, I wish you a happy holidays. I hope you're taking care of yourself this holiday season. And remember to take time for yourself and your hobbies. And just, you know, take all the breaks that you need if you need them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!